Hello and welcome, beautiful beings of light. It's Eve here, and we are looking at this upcoming solar eclipse in Libra here on October 2nd and the energies for the month of October, keeping in mind that the messages that do come through are guiding us over a much longer period of time than when I mentioned the month of October. And of course, whenever you come upon this video, hopefully there will be something here for you, even if it's a year from now. These messages are meant to be eternal, and they're meant to be guiding posts for you. So I'm going to dive in quickly into the numerology and the astrology, and that will be followed by all the different oracle cards that already flipped out of the deck for us, and we can look at those and see what the messages and the guidance is. If you feel like you want to jump into that right away, the timestamp will be below. We're in the fall season now. We've got the energy of 10 and the energy of 1 for the month of October, and we're in the universal year of 2024, which is an 8. 10 and 1, what does that mean? Well, the 1 energy is the development of the individual. It's how you're developing as an individual being on this planet. Do you feel like you've achieved a deep level of self-love, self-awareness? Have you built in a good amount of self-confidence, self-esteem, self-value? Add the word self to any word, and that would be the vibration of 1, because 1 is that singular energy or focus of how are you showing up. It also means that you are accountable for your own reality, right? Because 1 is 1. And then next to that, we've got 0 with the 10, and the 0 is the consciousness of wholeness. In order to fully be present for and working with the idea of wholeness and unity, we must first develop the energy of 1, which is personal independence and knowing thyself. That was one of the 2 big phrases on the Temple of Apollo in Delphi. Know thyself. That is the pathway into wholeness, which the ultimate energy of 10 in its vibration represents. And think about this, in the Tarot, all the suits end with 10. The hero has reached the completion of its journey in that suit when the hero reaches number 10. How far have you come? What have you learned? And then when we take away the 0 or we add 1 to 0, it's 1. We're now back to creating new pathways. So, but we can't do that, the creation of new pathways. I'm not going to say we can't. We can, even when we're not completely self-aware. However, those new pathways may be pathways that are going to have a lot of unknown components to them. The more self-aware we are and intent on our mission here on Earth, the more that idea of the pathway is going to match who you are and who you are becoming. And it will become a more effortless journey. We have that energy of 1 very, very present here on the solar eclipse, which is October 2nd. We have the energy of 11. So we've got the 2 1s there. And 11 is the energy of the manifester. It's also the energy of justice in the Tarot, because 11, 1 and 1 is 2. And here it is, October 2nd. So we've got this energy of 1, 1, but also we have the energy of 2 present as well. It's the scales of justice and the scales of balance and truth that are being very highlighted here through the numerology, as well as this solar eclipse and new moon and Libra. Justice, truth, and clarity is what is going to predominate energetically for each and every one of us and in the society at large. This is a solar eclipse, a new moon, therefore that energy of the 1 is very present, because the new moon is where the sun and the moon come together as 1 unit in that moment. This is my representation of the sun here. And then the moon comes out from behind the sun. So during a new moon, the moon is rebirthed through the energy of the sun. It's starting a new cycle. When it's a solar eclipse, the sun itself is being eclipsed as well. And therefore, the energy that's coming through during a solar eclipse is not as evident right away. It's something that builds as we go to the other side of the solar eclipse. So the sun and the moon itself are coming together, and through the eclipse, they are both releasing a brand new pathway here. That's why solar eclipses are so powerful. They do not rule just 1 month. The new moon will rule 29 days until the next new moon. When we have a solar eclipse, we are looking at a 6-month window until the next solar eclipse. So keep in mind, this energy is going to be with us very prevalently for the next 6 months. And we're looking at today, what is it bringing forth? Well, we already know it's the energy of the one. We know it's the energy of Libra, where balance, truth, and justice need to be worked with. Clarity is the word I kept getting again. And as we go into this powerful new moon and solar eclipse, we are completing September on the 30th with a new Mercury. So just 2 days before we go in to the moon-sun conjunction, we have the Mercury-sun conjunction. Therefore, in this solar eclipse energy, we have the moon, the sun, and Mercury all operating together in tandem. This is a phenomenal energy. The moon represents our emotional body. The sun represents our identity and our mission, and it can be related to our physical body as well. And then Mercury represents our mental body. All these areas are going together in tandem. They are working together. When we have planets lined up in the same sign, there's a single-minded focus that those planets are bringing through. So Mercury then is going to be a very, very strong player throughout the month of October. It's all about communication. And then we have the Libra energy, which is about restoring harmony in our lives and into all of our relationships. And as I said, it's the scales of balance here. And it's the energy of fairness. Libra cannot stand the scales out of balance. It doesn't like it. It needs there to be mutual reciprocity and also mutual communication, because we have the moon conjuncting Mercury on the day of the solar eclipse. Therefore, our emotional body and our mental body and our identity itself are meant to operate together as one beautifully fine-tuned vehicle. And that is what we are working on here with the astrology. Now, for the rest of the month of October, let's look at the overall numerology. We have the 10 and the 1. When we add that to the universal year of 2024, which is an 8, we have the 9. So throughout October, we have this incredibly strong, active energy moving us into new and onto new platforms, especially in the fields of communication and relationship, always beginning with that internal relationship with ourself, right? The one energy. If you are not clear within yourself, if you feel a lot of inner conflict going on, you must first seek to understand that inner conflict and seek a resolution so that you can then show up in the world with far more clarity and decisiveness. Because to have these 3 planets lined up, especially Mercury involved, Mercury is defining communication. Our communication needs to be front and center. Therefore, having that inner clarity and that focused will and mind is going to be very, very important here on our journey, right? Now let's bring in the number 9, because we've got that operating in the background. 9 is about releasing old patterns. 9 is the completion of habits. Anything in your life that is a pattern, you get to look at and decide, is this pattern healthy for me? Is it something I've completely mastered and learned? Have I learned the lessons? Is it a pattern that's actually keeping me from the new journey I want to begin? So you get to look at what patterns and habits you might want to change here. Now, 9 is very significant as well, because in the month of October, we are going to have one planet coming out of retrograde and one planet going into retrograde. Jupiter in the sign of Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, will be entering its retrograde period on the 7th of October, and it will be coming out of retrograde somewhere around the 6th, 7th, 8th of February, I believe. I'll put that in the description. Jupiter goes retrograde for approximately 4 months. It's doing it in Gemini, which is Mercury communication. And Jupiter is all about expansion and growth. But now Jupiter's going retrograde, so it's telling each and every one of us the expansion in our mental body and our communication body needs to be internal before it should be external. That means think before you speak. In these next 4 months, we're all going to be taking a very, very close look at our mental patterns, our mental habits, the words and the language we speak, and are we speaking our truth? Or are we telling people what we think they want to hear? And we do that many times because we want to manipulate something, okay? Not all manipulation is bad. We have reasons for why we do things, because everything in life is about a relationship to something, right? And so Libra is the key sign of all relationships. And with Jupiter going into retrograde for 4 months, and then the solar eclipse, we've got these 4 months and the 6 months of the eclipse to really focus deeply on our thought forms, how we speak inside our mind, and then how we communicate outside of ourselves to other people. And this is the playing field that we are all going to be working with. Why? Because the energy of Libra is telling us we need to balance everything out in our lives. And from a balanced mind and heart, realities are created, but we need the two to be working together. And think about this. Mercury or Gemini is more the mind energy and our speech. And Libra is the heart space, right? It's how we want relationships to be in our lives. And Libra's about love. We want love. We want beauty. We want our lives to work, but that we want them to work in a way that feels harmonious, because one of Libra's biggest words is harmony. That's why so many Libras get into the fields of creativity, so many musicians, people involved with music, songwriting, any field in the arts and acting. There's an awful lot of Libras in these areas because it's about speaking beauty and creating truth through harmony. And what is more harmonious than music and songwriting and lyrics, right? There's something about this then that we're going to want to pay attention to. My guides are channeling right now. So what they're telling me is the reason I'm bringing up music and creativity and the entertainment or artistic world is we want to put a little bit more of our energy there. We want to really listen to wonderful high vibrational music. Perhaps we want to listen to the lyrics or the notes. We want to play music. We want to be inspired by this energy. Some of us might be songwriters. We might be poets. So the energy of writing and getting things out there through writing and through speaking is going to be center stage here. Now, the last energy I want to talk to about October, and then we'll get into the cards, is Pluto. Pluto will be coming out of its retrograde on October 11th. Once it does that at 29 degrees, which is an 11 of Capricorn, it's going to start moving forward very, very slowly, but it's going to be released from retrograde. Therefore, from October 11th through November 19th, when Pluto leaves Capricorn, it is going to be in full force. And isn't it interesting that we've got that 9 vibration energy here for the month of October? Because I associate Pluto a lot with the number 9. We are really letting go of some very old patterns. In order to fully let them go, though, we must recognize what they are. And that's what all of these energies are coming in for right now. It's to move us into fully recognizing what these patterns are so that we can let them go and to choose a new path. This is a beautiful solar eclipse. In this eclipse cycle, which is 2 years long, this is the second of 2 eclipses that we're having in Libra. So last year, October 14th, 2023, we had our first solar eclipse in new moon in Libra, and this is our second. And it's wrapping up this cycle. We will not have the eclipses returning to Libra again for another 7 or 8 years. Therefore, what we choose to create now is so very important. And then we've got one more event happening in October. On October 17th, we have the 3rd super full moon with the moon in Aries and the sun opposite Libra. So at that point, we get to balance the energies of Libra with Aries. But I love it because Aries is already present in the 1 vibration. Aries speaks to how are you taking care of yourself. However, with Aries, it's also about fast forward movement and taking action. So between the new moon solar eclipse on the 2nd of October through the 17th of October and that 3rd super full moon, we get to decide what is going to bring us the most joy, balance, harmony, love into our life, and then we take action on it because that is the energy of Aries. All right, so let's dive in to what these beautiful messages are. I pulled out the Goddess Oracle card by Colette Baron-Reid, and we've got 2 cards here, beautiful. And also, I just love my deck. Where is it? The Star Temple. So we have the Goddess Power, and the goddess that showed up for us is Iris. Wow, communication, I love it. And it's communication where the mind and the heart are one. See how the colors here are pink and gold? The pink is the high heart energy, and the gold is the high mind energy. We are blending and harmonizing and balancing the energy between our high heart and our high mind. So when I say high mind, I'm referring to the positive mental energy. It's our crown, our 3rd eye to crown chakra, what connects us to the higher realms. We're getting energy and we're getting intuition coming through our high mind. And then the pink energy is the high heart, which is right above the heart, and it sits on the collarbone. It's funny, everything told me to wear this today, and I've got the pink with the gold there, and so I'm right in alignment. I love it. The goddess Iris is an amazing goddess, and the vibration is 22. So we've got a master number here. She's here to tell us your voice is very powerful right now. Be very cognizant of not only how you're thinking, but how you are speaking, because your words have power and people around you are really listening to you. And there's that message, she brings in the message of it's not only important to speak clearly and with truth and integrity and kindness, it's also just as important to listen that way. This is where the scales of balance come in. You show up with very clear, loving, intentional communication, and you invite others to show up with that form of communication to you as well. And that these are the discussions and the communication panels that you want to have with people, where the communication stems from a place of clarity, it stems from a place of integrity, it stems from a place of love and kindness, because true communication never seeks to talk over others. True communication does not require a loud voice or yelling. All it means is you need to choose powerful words that get someone else's attention. But it also is about you really listening to the intentions that those around you are also wanting to communicate with you. And this is the power of creating truly soul-filled relationships, where it's soul to soul speaking, because the language you speak is loving kindness. That's how our souls communicate. They find words that approach situations from a place of kindness with diplomacy. All right, so let me read a little bit from the book, because I feel like this message is very powerful. You're being called to use your words with love. Why? Because they're going to be heard right now. Your voice is going to be heard. Everyone is listening, and especially in a new Mercury energy. It's funny now, my throat is getting locked up a little bit. This has been happening in all of my videos. You know what? We're all really working with this energy this year. 2024. In order to be fully awakened, we've got to find our truth, and we've got to find ways to speak it. And that's why for every one of my videos, my throat seems to lock up for a moment, to accentuate the fact that we each need to really pay attention to this. Communication improves all of your relationships. So Iris is here right now in our lives to ultimately not only improve how we communicate, she's here to improve the relationships in our lives, and to make sure that we're aware of the relationships that are truly feeding positive communications for us, and are we then feeding positive communication in those relationships. Remember, this is a two-sided street, right? The street is going in both directions. You are in a mutual dialogue, and now is the time to pay attention to the signs and the omens that she's going to bring into your life. So she's telling us all that she's going to bring very significant signs to us around how to better communicate in the relationships that we need to communicate with, and the relationships that are really closest to our heart. Trust this important yet subtle communication. She is never going to lead you down the wrong path. Iris is concerned with truth, and especially integrity and truth together. She is going to guide you if you invite her in. All of the goddesses and the angels that I pull, you've got to call them in. Otherwise, you're not giving them permission to work with you. So here today, remember, call this beautiful goddess Iris in to work with you. Now, she does have an alignment message. She says right now is the time to ask for greater clarity and to do whatever you need to get clear within yourself first. So your alignment task could be to say no. It's going to be, not could be. Your alignment task is to say no to playing games, to coercion, manipulation, and covert intentions. So she's saying this is not a time for any kind of game playing or manipulation or control. Your alignment task is to say no to all of this and to be clear and honest from the get-go. The get-go. And the last, what am I getting about gecko? Now I'm getting gecko. You know, the gecko is in the animal medicine world, it's the dreamer. And it can be in the past, present, and future. The gecko or the lizard dreams the future into being in the present. And the gecko energy is an energy of clarity. So get, go, and gecko, okay, just take it for what it is. I'm channeling that in. And maybe some of you are going to be seeing geckos and lizards as we're talking about this. Pay attention to also the number 1111 and also 2222. So the last alignment message from the goddess Iris is you could come from a culture or a family where speaking your truth is frowned upon. You could come from, in certain cultures, they deem silence as a beautiful quality to have, that it's better to be seen and not heard, that it's better to be in silence first, or that you need to always listen to your peers and just listen to them. And so depending on what your situation is during this time, for some of you, you might be having to have a different form of communication because the family you're involved in or the workspace you're involved in, it doesn't naturally open itself up to people speaking their truth, okay? So you want to find a way to speak your truth, even if you have to speak it with everyone in the room not being happy with it. And the other message from Iris is communication is so imperative right now for your own well-being, that if your truth right now is, I'm out of balance, I'm not feeling well at all, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm feeling blocked, I'm feeling like a victim, if that is your truth right now, you still must speak it. Because in that moment, when you speak your truth, even though you're feeling like you're at your very lowest, the right people are going to hear you and they're going to have advice for you, and they may even give you a helping hand. So the biggest, most important message that Iris is bringing, other than gentle, diplomatic, clear communication, is she's saying be vulnerable. If you're in a place of pain, speak about that pain, okay? And once you've spoken it, you don't need to keep speaking it. It's in the room, it's already been out, okay? Something that happens with us is once we get into the trend of speaking about our pain, we have to then know when to stop, right? Because then we feel like, okay, we're really speaking our truth and we're telling this person and that person and this scenario, and there comes a time where we know, wait a minute, I feel like I've spoken this too much, and that's time to know it's just enough, and now you can change the story. Because the important thing here is to get your truth out there, but then you don't have to keep riding that horse, right? I'm really going into depth with this, and I'm not sure why. I feel like that certain people receiving this message, you need to hear different parts of this message, all right? So let's go a little bit deeper into what beautiful Pleiadian goddess came in for us. And I was getting Electra across the board. She is the third star in the Pleiadian system, and she rules the solar plexus, which is about self-confidence and putting our power out there. So that completely makes sense. And she operates with the golden energy. She had a son, I think a son from Zeus. His name was Dardanus, and he was the king of Troy. And that's the picture we have here. And Dardanus is moving forward very quickly in full body armor. His body armor is golden, and he carries the sword of light, or the sword of clarity. So the message that the beautiful Pleiadian goddess is bringing us here with her son, her king, he's the king energy here of Dardanus, is the morning star, radiance. I shoot for the stars. Radiance is my birthright. I shoot for the stars. Radiance is my birthright. What in you right now needs to shine? Because this is a time where you've got to bring out your shields of armor. And these are golden shields. What this represents is your full protection. You are protected in the golden armor of Dardanus and Electra. You do not have to fear for your safety now, for you are fully protected, full speed ahead now. And the golden light is the light of illumination, radiance, and truth. You are, again, we've got that energy of truth coming forward here. The morning star, Electra. Electra is the great awakener. She is the great awakener. And as the awakener, she's here to trigger spiritual awakening and collective ascension. Now we know why Electra is here. She's here for the collective awakening that's happening this year and next on planet Earth. And so call her energy in as the morning star. It is the dawn or the dawning of a new age that she is bringing in here. So the word she brings to us is drive, follow your drive, follow your passion, persistence, don't give up, have clear-minded intention when you're moving forward, and triumph. Triumph is here to be your legacy. When you infuse your soulful journey with courage and zest and joy, you will triumph with this. So Electra is saying, when you really believe in yourself and your mission and your journey, radiance will be your birthright, and triumph will be your legacy. That is a beautiful, beautiful message. So call on both of these goddesses here. And so following this, I was asking the question, oh, I forgot. I pulled another one. Okay, we're doing the Keepers of the Light. So we've got 3 guides here: Iris, Electra, and Beloved Divine Ascended Master Mary Magdalene. These are our guides through this time. Teacher, awaken. So the teacher within you is awakening. And again, that happens through the energy of communication, right? And communication, as I said, isn't just music and writing and speaking and lecturing. It's also study. You have something very important to share with the world. Follow this inner call and don't let anything stop you. So call on Beloved Divine Mary Magdalene to give you the courage. See, we're getting that message of courage twice here. And then Iris is telling you what you are bringing to the table is important. We're getting that message twice. These 2 beautiful feminine energies are here to help us right now. The teacher in you is awakening, and you are meant to be a teacher of love, because Mary Magdalene is the rose heart. So she's bringing in the beautiful energy of the high heart. She's asking you to follow unconditional love, okay? And to teach from that place of unconditional love. Keep getting that message, unconditional love. And that is the higher vibration of Libra. It's a beautiful, beautiful message. You have a strong desire to share what you have learned in this world. It is time for you to do this, but you haven't done it, or you've only done it partially because you feared judgment. You feared a lot of haters or naysayers. And I would say that that is true in my case too. I've had to overcome that inner fear of being really put down. And what Mary Magdalene is here to tell us is that that fear comes from lifetimes where we were actually victimized. We were persecuted for speaking the truth and following the higher path. But it's okay, we are safe in this lifetime because we have the armor of Dardanus and Electra, don't we, protecting us. It is safe for you to tell your story, to bring your teaching to the world right now, because the world needs it. And your teaching is bringing with it unconditional love. It's bringing with it the higher frequencies of love. And that is what we are all reaching towards in the ascension pathway. So we've got the energy of pink very, very prevalent here. So let's look at what is hidden in your life that is now going to be revealed. So we had our three guides, the goddess Iris, the goddess Electra with her son, the King Dardanus, and Divine Ascended Master Mary Magdalene. Call on any one of these four to guide you, and they will be there. So what is hidden that is coming to light? When we are in a solar eclipse, there's always a revelation that comes through on the other side. The first card we have is the Winged Ones. The winged wise ones, angelic help and miraculous aid. So our message here is that surrounding all of us, we have the angels. The angelic host is guiding us right now in ways that are mysterious, yet magical and miraculous, that at the drop of the hat, we can ask for a miracle. Miraculous aid is at our fingertips right now. There is nothing that we cannot call in, as long as it is for our highest good and well-being, and the highest good and well-being of those that we're calling the blessing or miracle in for. You always have to put that in to your, when you're asking or praying for an intention or a miracle, always ask for the highest good, well-being, and joy of yourself and whoever else is involved. So we have this beautiful angelic and cosmic light energy present. The next card is the Eyes of Beauty. Wow, wow. What I just got as that card came in is what was hidden from you is how beautiful you are. How very beautiful you are, even when you are in your darkest, shadowy place. Beauty is something that can never, ever be taken from your soul, ever. Yeah, your human self can have a lot of things happen, but your soul cannot be tarnished that way. Your very essence itself is beautiful. The eyes of beauty are opening within you. That is what is being revealed. You're seeing a beauty inside of you. And then also you're seeing a beauty in others around you and on the planet Earth and in your environment that perhaps you were not able to capture before. This is an incredibly beautiful energy. And the words we have here are positive expectations and clarity. So again, we've got clarity, right? You are getting clear on things right now. And the last message from this card is to also change your perception. If you are not looking at the world from the eyes of beauty, please change your perception. When you look for beauty, you will find beauty because that's what you're looking for. Again, you must always start with yourself. To look for beauty outside of yourself when you can't find it within is going to be a very hard task to do. Seek that beauty within you, and then you will be able to far more easily find that beauty outside of you. But look at the world through the eyes of beauty. And that is so amazing, because that goes hand in hand with Mary Magdalene. You have a choice now, every one of us does, to look at the world through the eyes of beauty and love, which is Libra, or not. You know, and that means to look at your pain as beautiful, to acknowledge your pain as power, to acknowledge your pain as path. It is guiding you somewhere. Pain is never wasted. If you follow the path that it guides you on, there is something that you will find there. So when you can look at beauty as encompassing even the garbage cans in our world, your perception will radically, radically change. This message here today isn't something I saw going in. It is a beautiful, profound message. And the last thing that is hidden, coming to light, is the arrow master. Be very focused on where you want your arrows to go, okay? So you are the master of your intentions. The bow and arrow is your action, and the arrows are your intentions. So the arrow master, it's about hitting the mark and setting very clear intentions. But as you do this, the arrow master is asking you to ask that very pivotal question. Is what you desire desiring you? Is your desire in alignment with your complete essence and being? Because if it isn't, you may want to get a different set of arrows, right? And the last message from the arrow master is, once you have set your intention and let the arrow loose of that, for that intention and that focus and desire, you must then walk away. Think about that. Once the arrow's loosened, you walk, right? You don't go running after that arrow as it's flying through the air to see if it actually is hitting that tree. You let the arrow go. So detachment is key to the law of manifestation. Yeah, and you know what this is? Okay, they're giving me another message. The final message of the arrow master is faith. When you have faith that the arrow you are letting go of is the right arrow, you don't need to watch where it goes, because your faith alone is more than all you need. Okay? Wow. I could almost end here, but I'm not going to, because I pulled some more cards, and so I'd like to just wrap it up with any extra guidance from the Tarot, and I'm using the Chakra Wisdom Tarot. So we have out the get-go the Princess of Coins. So that is so in this deck, the princesses are the pages. So the Page of Coins is about financial well-being, but it's also about something new that you're developing in your life around abundance. And I love it because she is surrounded with green and gold, and she's even on her head has a gold laurel. So this is about an abundance in terms of prosperity, financial, physical prosperity, but with all that beautiful emerald green, it's also an abundance within the heart. So the Princess of Coins is saying there's something very beautiful that you're wanting to manifest in your life. And you know, as the princess, you take action, right? And it's followed by the Two of Coins. Okay, so you may have more than one thing that you would like to manifest, or you're going to have choices. So when we look at the Two of Coins, Two of Pentacles, or the Two of Coins, sometimes it's about making a decision between two or more choices. Other times it's about really choosing and working on these two things that might be quite different. Let's say you have two different careers, or do two different missions or lines of work that you like to do, or perhaps you're wanting to balance out your career with family life. The Two of Coins or is all about finding that balance there. So we are bringing in coins right off the bat. So we know this is about bringing in greater abundance in your life, but it has to come from the heart. You need to feel like this is the right path. And then we've got the Knight of Cups. So now we've got love. Okay, you're filling your cup of love. This can also be about someone bringing you a beautiful cup of love. It could be more than one person. You are surrounding yourself with this solar eclipse energy, and throughout the month of October, you're wanting to surround yourself with a lot of abundance and people who have an abundance mindset, and you want to surround yourself with people that share their cups of love. Okay, so far the energies are looking very, very balanced to me. And the chakra energies we have are the heart, we've got the sacral, which is the second chakra, which is all about balance and romance. And then we have the blue, which is about communication. And think about this, the knights are action figures, right? Something is coming towards you with love and speaking love. And then we have the Seven of Wands. So we've got all the chakras here. That will be the crown chakra or third eye. Now the Seven of Wands in this deck is very different than other decks because she has the Six of Wands on either side of her, and she's walking between them carrying the seventh. In this deck, whenever I see that card, I perceive the Seven of Wands as overcoming all of the challenges. So you've arrived here. The seventh wand you're carrying. You've gone through this. You've overcome whatever challenges you've needed to overcome, and you are ready now. Whatever challenges are still around you, this card and this deck is saying to you, you've got this one. You know what you're doing. You have got it. And it's followed by, I love it, the Chariot and the Magician. There is nothing that you cannot manifest right here. And the Chariot is taking action. It is a time for action. So we have here, we've got horses twice. We've got the Princess, which is about the messenger energy and the communication. We've got the orange. We've got all of the chakras here pretty much lit up. The Magician is also the sacral. The only one we don't have is the solar plexus. And then the Chariot is actually the root chakra, which would make sense because it's our root chakra. That's that drive to take action. And that is the last of the tarot cards that came in here. And it's the Chariot, and it's beautiful. There's fast forward movement coming into your life. So we end with the Chariot and we start with the Princess of Coins. And you're doing that. We're doing that because what we want here with the first three cards is we want greater abundance in our life, and we want to share love. That's what we want here. That's the drive. So I'm going to leave these out, and in fact, I'm going to take a picture of them, I think, and put it, I might make it the theme. Okay, so I want to end here with the romance angels. I want to just see what do they want to bring in as advice. So with the first one out the get-go is stay optimistic about your love life or anything going on in your life. Positive thinking and faith is going to bring you what you want. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance, but we can replace romance with anything, right? Positive thinking and faith. Stay optimistic, please. Keep an open mind. It's going to come to you in a way you probably don't see coming. It could come in the form of a stranger or someone you didn't think it was going to come from. But what the romance angels are really saying is keep an open mind, okay? Whether we're talking about love and romance, it could be that your soulmate or your divine counterpart is someone that isn't the norm, isn't normally what you attract, isn't normally what you're attracted to or you're going to meet them in a place that you never would have expected to meet them, right? So keep your mind open. And lastly, reconciliation. Whoever and whatever it is that is coming into your life, whether it's in the romantic field or whether it's in friendship or friendship or coworkers, it's someone that you have a strong soul connection with. You know, in the Romance Angel deck, reconciliation has many different messages. Someone from your past is returning to your life. And honestly, whenever I see this, I right away see past lives. This is someone that you've had many lifetimes with. It doesn't mean it's someone coming from your past in this one, okay? Can it mean that? Absolutely. So you take it however it resonates. But reconciliation is also, it's about a return of a beautiful soulmate energy to your life, one that you want because it's made in heaven. See, the energy here, it's the higher dimensions. This relationship is coming from the higher realms into the physical now. So whoever it is or whatever it is that's coming into your life, you have an opportunity here to see how this is going to unfold. And for some of you, it's about some kind of a reconciliation. It is a reconciliation of two souls or more from other lifetimes where maybe there wasn't an ability to reconcile. And when you meet them in this life, there's going to be so much communication that's going to go back and forth. And it can also be about a reconciliation from someone in this life where you find this equal platform that you never had before together. It's very, very positive energy, but I'm getting patience. So with energies around the reconciliation and whoever it is that's returning at a soul level to your life, your angels are saying you've got to have patience right now. And letting go of what doesn't work for you is actually part of this energy. Love is not going to pass you by. The right people that are truly meant to be in your life are not going to pass you by. Now, the patience card can also represent, though, that right now there's a time of stillness in your life in terms of romance. So if you're in a current relationship, nothing is changing right away or growing. And your guides are just saying, give it some time and have patience and don't try to push anything. This is a time of non-action, either in your love life or in some relationship in your life or job in your life. It's time for you to meditate and go inward, and you have to spend some alone time here. So what we're getting from my other deck is patience and spending time with yourself is the final advice here for moving all of these energies forward. It's going to help you with being optimistic. It's going to help you with keeping an open mind. And the spending time alone, what it really brings to you is you become a lover of spending time with yourself. That's how I feel. I love spending time just by myself. Was I always like that? Most of the time, yes. I've always, even as a child, loved spending time alone. However, today it's even more so. And so alone time is about you feeling so comfortable and at home within yourself. And from that place, there's no desperation. There's no chasing after outcomes. There's no chasing after love. You're patient. Why? Because what you have is you have today, and you want to make the most use of today. And so the alone time, which is the hermit mode, is giving you the space to recognize what a truly unconditional relationship is. And it's where both individuals, or if there's more individuals involved, where each individual loves and is comfortable in their own skin, so they don't push at one another. Instead, they come together to share unconditional love. That is what the message is here. And the last one we have is about career. So the focus that we all need to be on right now is not only spending time with ourselves and really being comfortable with who we are, it's also about working with our career choices, okay? There are a lot of influencing factors at play right now in your career and in your love life. So if your love life is stagnating, not going anywhere, whether you're in a relationship or not, it could be because you're meant to be focusing on building your abundance, right? We're back to the Princess of Coins. You're meant to be focusing on your mission, your abundance, or perhaps the right person that's meant to come in is focusing on that right now. And you're just full speed ahead on your mission and your career. Money issues are playing a role in your life right now, as well as a possible career change. So that could be the other influencing factor that you are going to be going through in these next 1 to 6 months right now. And there could also be foreign cultures and currencies. So for many of you, this is a huge card. The influencing factors, it could be career, it could be financial issues, it could be foreign countries where maybe you're moving somewhere, or you're a globetrotter, you're doing a lot of traveling right now. And that traveling is creating this beautiful space for you to be more in harmony with yourself. And from this space and this patience, and I don't even want to say patience because I don't feel like it's patience. Honestly, I feel like you're just in a hermit mode, and this is a good place for you. You're going to know exactly when to come out of it. And I have this funny feeling that when you're in this alone time or this hermit mode, and you're maybe a globetrotter or traveling or making a career jump, out of nowhere, you're going to meet the person, okay? Whether this is going to be a beautiful friendship, an incredible business colleague, or a beautiful romantic partnership, I have a feeling everything is lining up for you exactly the way it's meant to. All right. I love you all so much. Sending everyone blessings and love.